my biggest fear is not like, what happens if I try something and fail? It's like, what if I didn't try it and I wanted to do it?
Welcome to Eggs Most Okayest Farm Girls. I'm Annaliese.
And I'm Courtney. Grab a drink. We're here to help.
Ooh, welcome back to a very special episode of Eggs Most Okayest Farm Girls. We're back with episode number 2 of our series called Farm Girls Unfiltered, where we talk to fellow farm girls, raw, real conversation. We get the dirt and hopefully learn from them. Courtney, would you like to introduce our guests today?
I would love to. This is our friend, Caitlin Schwandt.
Nice work.
Is that right?
Yes, right.
So she is one of those gals you first meet and you're like, you're my best friend now. Cool. We're best friends. So she has built a really successful brand called Main Tap, which is a mobile bar.
Yeah.
She sold that business. She is building another brand called Wisco Cowgirl Co. and Rebel Ridge is your men's line.
Yep.
And she's doing all this while being an X-ray tech, teaching. You teach radiology, right? At the university?
Yep.
Okay. And momming it with the cutest little boy ever.
Yeah.
So
Dang,
she's
girl.
doing all the things. Yeah.
It's a wild time, but we got to do all the things.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got lots to talk about today.
I feel like Caitlin needs to get more on the mic.
That's probably the first time in my whole life I've heard that somebody can't hear me. My
have to
elementary
lean in a
school
little.
report cards and my peer reviews at work would disagree.
Likes to talk in class, does she?
Yeah. I once had somebody on my peer review, though, at the hospital be like, her voice carries. And I'm like, and?
What does that even mean?
And?
Is that good
That's
or
what I
bad?
said. I'm like, is this supposed to be like a dig at me? Because I feel like you're welcome.
Yeah, right?
You know, those old people probably appreciate
They
that.
really do. Yes, I agree.
Well, let's start at the beginning, because I feel like we met you because of Main Tap, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I actually was trying to think of the first time we met this morning, and I don't.
I think it was when Ranch and Root opened. Because I remember seeing Ranch and Root, and I was like, I gotta go check this place out. Like, and I think it was opening night of Ranch and Root.
Really?
I think that's the first time we met, like, in person. I think we had, like, chatted beforehand, but I think that was the first time we met in person, I want to say, which is kind of wild, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad everything aligned and we got to know you because, yeah, Courtney and I were hosting our first podcast event and you kind of got into our DMs and you're like, I want to collab, ladies. And we were like, hell yeah. Because you had, with Main Tap, you had, I mean, I guess maybe just start there on how it came about, how you got started. But essentially what you brought to our event was like this cute little bicycle drink cart. It was so adorable, but you had a great little business that you sold to start a new business. And I think that's like an incredible story in its own. So go ahead. Tell us all about it.
I mean, I guess we can go all the way back. Like, I met one of my best friends, lifelong, best friend, at horse camp when I was 14 years old. And so, fast forward, we had our horses together a couple years before the Main Tap. We were on a trail ride. We came back and it was 90 degrees. And we're like, oh, we just need a beer. And we're looking at these trailers, old dilapidated, broken down trailers at the barn. And we're like, man, wouldn't it be cool if that was a bar? And so my brain doesn't take a little idea and just stop. It is well, why can't we make it a bar? So I went home and started researching. And at that time, there were no mobile bars really in the area in the US. There were some in the UK. And their mobile bars are really cool because they use these rice trailers that have a walk-up ramp in the front. And it just the vibes are awesome, whatever. But they didn't really exist in the US. And so I was like, okay, well, this isn't a thing. I had contacted the state and was like, how do I get a liquor license for this? And they're like, you can't. And I'm like, okay. Never mind. We won't do this. So then a couple years later, 2020 rolls around. We're in the beginning of 2020 and things are looking weird. I work at a level 1 trauma hospital in the area and things were stressful there, obviously, with COVID and just I had extra time because we weren't able to go out to eat all the time and we weren't able to like be out and about like we normally are. And I was like, you know what? Now's the time. Like at the time we didn't have my son. It was just my husband and I. My husband traveled for work. So like I had some time to really like research this and figure it out. And I found an online community that was a mobile bar community that was so helpful. And at the time it was like pretty new, but they were so helpful. They were willing to like sit down and like go over things with me. There's a mobile bar that's very successful in Ohio. And he sat on the phone with me for 2.5 hours and answered all my questions and was like, here's some ideas for you. Here's some things that, so it's really cool to like have that kind of community where like somebody's willing to help you and somebody is willing to be like, yeah, let me take the time to like show you what I have like maybe failed at and you can just like speed ahead of that. So I said, you know what, let's just do it. And in true Caitlin fashion, I sort of bought a trailer without completely running it by my husband.
Right? Just ask for forgiveness, not permission.
Yes, it's really part of my entire lifestyle. So I had ordered this trailer from Missouri that was like the outside was painted, but the inside had to be redone. And I was like, cool, we can handle that. So surprise, the trailer arrives and we're like, we're doing this, which I would always say, don't buy the trailer first, start the business first and then whatever. But it was fine. Trailer got here and we were in the middle of renovating our basement because it was 2020 and we were like, oh, we're going to be home. No, my husband's business made COVID swabs at the time. So he was real busy.
Oh, God.
So we get the trailer a little while later. He's like, I'm not going to renovate this thing. I'm dealing with the farmhouse renovation. I'm dealing with the basement renovation. We had also like purchased like a farm property at the time. And so he's like, I'm kind of done with renovations. So fast forward, we find this perfect trailer in Michigan because Michigan had completely shut down. And they're like, yeah, we can't do anything. Like it's been used once. And I said, say less. So January on my 30th birthday, I went and picked it up with my mom. We drove 5 hours in a snowstorm and like brought her home. And the rest is kind of history. So it was really cool. It was a very like new idea kind of in the area. It wasn't brand new. There were mobile bar companies, but like not exactly what I was doing. And I wanted it to be full service. I didn't want you to have to rent the trailer and then get the bartenders and then fill the trailer. And like, I wanted you to call me and say, I want you to come and serve this day. And I don't want to worry about the rest. Because as a bride myself, I brought in everything to my wedding barn for drinks. Like we had to bring in all of our alcohol, all the cups, all the ice. Well, as somebody who's planning a wedding, like
That's
you
too much.
you don't know what you need. You don't want to think about that. You don't want to be having to haul hundreds of pounds of ice the day of your wedding. So let me just take that off your plate and make it a full service situation. So yeah, it really like built and grew and I made so many awesome connections and friends in the industry that are still really great friends of mine and we're still working together on this next business as well. So it's kind of cool. Small businesses in the area really like help each other and are willing to like really support your business and you start to become friends with these people behind the businesses and it's just a really cool thing that like me coming from a healthcare side into that realm of things is just so different and so cool.
How did you find the time, like with your full-time job? And then this is more than a side gig. This is a whole nother business. Like, how are you doing it?
It was crazy. I worked 10s at the hospital. So I would have every Thursday off. So on Thursdays, I would go do coffee bars a lot. So I would like come to an apartment building and I partnered with an area coffee shop in the area who would provide me with like scones and the coffee. And I knew that I'm not a baker. I don't make coffee. I let them take care of that. They're a small business who like love to like help other small businesses. So we collaborated on that. I would literally send in my order, pick it up, and then I'd go on a Thursday morning at 7:00 to like an apartment building or a corporate business. And it would be that those people would hire me for their employees for free to come out and get a little treat in the morning and a little free coffee on their way to work. And it made people so happy, like to come down to their cars and there was like a coffee and a big scone waiting for them. And it was really good product. They were like, this is the best.
Yeah.
So I would do that like probably twice a month at different places, whatever. I would like use my vacation from work to like do events. So it was a little wild.
what was the goal, like, when you started it? I mean, what was your why? Why did you want to do this? I mean, because, like, again, you already had that full-time job, so why put more on your plate?
I think I've always just like wanted to do all the things and try it all. I think like my biggest fear is not like what happens if I try something and fail. It's like, what if I didn't try it and I wanted to do it? So I've always had this like thing in my brain that's like, if I want to do something, it's never going to like leave until I just do it. So
Have you ever looked into human design? Do you know what you are?
no, I have no idea who I am. No.
I have no idea who I am.
I don't know.
I feel like just based on what you're telling me and what I know of you, I feel like you're probably a manifesting generator. Look into human design, guys. It's so fascinating. It's like if astrology and the Enneagram had a baby. Like, you get so much information. Courtney's done it, right?
I looked into it. I don't know how deeply
I went
dove
in.
I went in. You went
She's
really
like,
in.
actually, I'm a professor in this.
Yeah. Not that far, but it's fascinating. You should check it out. Sorry, side note. Please continue.
So you outsourced. That's what you were
Yes,
saying.
yes.
Which is really smart.
Yep, because I knew that I wasn't going to get a commercial kitchen and start baking my own things. That's just crazy. It was something I couldn't handle. So, but then we did a lot of weddings. We did a lot of corporate events. But a lot of our like apartment complexes had us coming back, or that we'd do like an evening thing with them. So I just worked it around my work schedule. It was a little bit nuts, but like, you know, I could plan things out. The thing about it was like I could schedule as much as I wanted or as least as I wanted because I still had that full-time job. It wasn't that I was like depending on it to be my income. So I love what I do taking x-rays, and I love that adrenaline because it is a level 1 trauma center. Like, you know, we do crazy things and I love that part of it, which sounds nuts, but like I do love that part of it and I love taking x-rays and doing my job. But like, this is just a different like creative outlet for me that is a great addition that I always just wanted to do.
And the main tap, guys, it's spelled M-A-N-E, which is so cute because it's a horse trailer.
Yeah.
Like, how clever.
Yeah, my friend Sam actually came up with that. We were all like,
I never made that connection.
You didn't?
So dumb.
Courtney.
I'll teach her about horse things. Okay, that's a different day. We're working on it. We're working on it. We got things to talk to you about, okay?
Oh.
I get it.
Yeah, my friend Sam is just like such a goofy guy, and he called me. We were all at our house like chatting about this idea, and you know, they're listening. They're like, "This sounds awesome. We should do it." And he's like, kind of like, "Yeah, you should do it." And he called me on his way home from our house and was like, "What about the main tap?" And I was like, "That's genius. Like, that's genius." Because like you come up with these things like the like drunk like cowboy, and I'm like, well, I don't want people to think that they like. You know, we did a lot of
to get drunk.
Yeah, and we did a lot of mocktail events, which were really, really popular. And I was like, I don't want to like close myself off and just like be like, oh, that's just a bar. She only does that. So yeah, it worked out really well with the name to be like a very universal, like could do a lot of things with it.
Yeah. Okay, so things with the main tap are like going well. You're having fun. Why sell it?
So I got to a point. So I had my son. I literally did 2 main tap events the week before I gave birth. Like me trying to carry around these coolers, like it was nuts. But I'm like, I'm not one to be like told no or to like back out of something I've already said I'm gonna do. So like I'm gonna do it, not gonna cancel it and whatever. So it got to a point where my son Dax got a little bit older and he started to be like, please don't go. Like, and the thing about it is like, a lot of people would say like, oh, this is such a fun business. Like we should do, you know, I'd hear it at events all the time. Like, well, we should do this. We should take our trailer and do this. Like, you know, it sounds like such an easy like thing, but I would spend Fridays, a couple hours on Fridays, or even like before that. So I'd spend a couple hours going over with clients what they want to do. And then I'd plan like what I need to buy. And then I'd plan like where I need to be, how I need to, whatever. So Fridays would be, if I have a Saturday wedding, it would be Friday afternoon. I'm sourcing all my stuff so it's all fresh. I'm prepping all my stuff so it's all fresh. Usually I'd prep it actually Saturday morning because when you're cutting garnishes and stuff, you never want to do it the night before. So Friday, I'd spend all this time getting the trailer ready, packing things up, making my list for the next morning. So then the next morning I'd get up and I'd either like prep whatever I need to prep, and then I'd have to get the trailer hooked up and ready. And then I'd have to stop and make sure I have all the ice, which like sometimes I'm getting like 40 bags of ice, 50 bags of ice. And so it turns into like Wisconsin weddings are not a 5-hour event like some of the other
like
ones
to
in the country.
drink.
They are an actual marathon.
Yeah. All day
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like a 12-hour situation. So then you're getting home, you know, late at night. You've been gone all day. You've left at 7, 8 a.m. and you're sweaty, you're tired, you're gross. And then the next morning you have to clean the trailer. So
Yeah.
it's just got to be where like I was like, this isn't quite working with like my young family anymore. And it was great before when I had like the extra time, but where I'm having my son be like, please don't go. And then I'm like missing things on the weekend with him. I'm like, I just can't anymore.
Not worth it.
Yeah, I just can't. And so one thing led to another. And the two guys that I ended up selling it to are young and they're motivated. We laugh because one of the guys that I had talked to first about buying it, one of the guys that bought it, he and I have like a very similar brain where we're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do that. So like they were so excited about it and they were so excited about the brand itself and everything. And they've just like taken it on and just taken it in the best way possible. Cause you know, when you build a brand and you build something, it's like almost like your baby. And then you're like,
Oh yeah.
wait, can I actually send it off? And so that was like something I dealt with for a while too. Like, do I actually do this or do I just like put it on hold for a while?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, she's like building pretty big. Like, I want her to like go and like thrive. I want her to like flourish in the pastures, but like not dead in a barn. So
yeah, I feel like that's got to be tough. Like you said, like it is like your baby. It's something you created. And I know we as like farm girls, rural gals, we have this mentality of like, we don't quit. And so there's probably a little piece of you that was like, am I quitting? But it's not. You're doing what's best for you. And now you've started something new that I'm guessing you love even more. So let's talk about that.
Yeah. Wisco Cowgirl is something I had thought about a long time. And again, there's a few things on my bucket list that I'm like, oh, I'd like to do this or this as a business. Like, it's just like constantly flowing through, which can be a little dangerous. But I was finding myself looking at all these brands and all these boutiques and like loved all the stuff and was like super excited about new releases and new things. But like nothing ever really felt Western, but Midwesty.
Yes.
I was like, it doesn't really make like I've been wearing Ariat my whole life, like with the horses, but I love the Wrangler stuff. I love all those big brands, but none of it really ever felt like home to me. And I'm like, how can I find a brand that is like kind of nods to the West and is that Western kind of feeling, but is also homage to where I live? Like,
yes.
How do I do that? Like without like, I don't want to like take a piece of cheese and put a cowboy hat on. Maybe I do actually. Maybe I might actually. Hold on. We'll write that down for later. But I just wanted something that like, it doesn't make sense for me to like be wearing a cactus that says like Western, whatever. We don't have cactus here. We're not in Arizona. We're not in the West.
We have one. We have prickly pears.
You're right. And I actually do have some cactus growing in my backyard. That's a whole separate situation. But yeah, I just really wanted something that like people in the Midwest really like felt like was home and was like something that they could wear that they could also really like celebrate the Midwest and the things that we like. And that's kind of where it started.
I'm so glad like you had this idea and this thought process because I know myself and Courtney and I have had this conversation, like being in the Midwest, we don't always feel like we're allowed to wear Western stuff.
Exactly.
Like, and we love that style, you know? And so I love that you're taking the Midwest and the West and putting them together. That's something like perfect for us. It's so cute.
It's a perfect marriage of the two.
Yeah. And
what you're building.
That's really what I've been trying to do is like give a nod to both and homage to both. Like we can take those style ideas from the West and put them into our stuff and have it make sense for we're not having to wear just Wisconsin all the time and that's it. We can like wear things that are Western Wisconsin, Midwest in the area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I love how this brand you're building maybe offers a little more flexibility
Mhm.
and you're not going to be gone every weekend
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
your mobile bar. So it wasn't quitting. It's just pivoting
Exactly.
to something that works better for you now.
Yeah. Yeah.
People evolve. People have families. Priorities change. So
Yeah. And I just never wanted to like cut myself off to like, okay, I did this business and now I don't do any more small businesses. Like I sold the main tap and my husband was like, okay, like you take a break for a while. And 2 weeks later, I'm like, so I started Wisco Cowgirl. He's like,
so I started a brand.
really? Gave that a break, didn't ya? And he's like, whatever. He's like so used to me at this point that it's just like nothing phases him, honestly.
I love this.
So, yeah.
It's so cool. And so Wisco Cowgirl is online, but also now brick and mortar, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, we have found the greatest place to be. You know, meeting Courtney and Becca with Ranch and Root has been just the coolest thing ever. I think like finding people who kind of share your ideas and are supportive of them is kind of rare and like are actual cheerleaders for you. I mean, I show up to the store all the time and Becca's got my apparel on and I'm like, yeah, girl. Like, and Courtney's the same way. And I am sending things home for Aaron all the time. Like, this is like, I'm texting Courtney and I'm like, will Aaron like this? And I'm like, can you ask him? Like,
and when Aaron likes something, that means a lot.
Yeah.
He loves your new like his shirt that he just got with the buck.
Yes.
And there's like a cowboy riding a buck.
Yeah. It's the one I'm wearing right now. I wear it almost every single day. It's a problem at this point. But
no, I love it.
Regardless, I really, being at Ranch and Root, we just opened the second floor. Before I had like a couple racks downstairs and things were going well. But now we have the second floor and we have so much space up there. And the other thing that we both like to do is thrift. And so there is a thrifted section up there of, it fits the same vibe and it's kind of that Western farm vibes. Vintage things that we've collected and our husbands are like, you can't keep it all. You can't keep all of it. So it's a really cool situation up there. To me, there was nothing really like it in the area. And I wanted a place where like you could be like, yeah, I want to go and find a new concert outfit, or I'm going to this barbecue, or up there right now, it's like 4th of July in the store. I mean, it is a serious 4th of July situation. So and I love that. And you wear it all summer long too. But yeah, it's cool to be able to just go. And
I've heard people say like, oh, retail is dead because of buying online is so easy.
Yeah.
There's Amazon, whatever. But I disagree. When I shop, like I need to try it on.
Yep.
I need to feel like the quality. And usually if I buy something off Amazon, like it doesn't fit right. I don't end up wearing it.
And the material, like the material matters.
Yeah.
Like, you want, like, there's so much polyester, just like junk out there. Amazon's great, but like there's a lot that comes to you and you're like, this does not look like the picture. This doesn't feel like it should. Like, and you know, then you're back to square one.
Yeah, there is something about shopping in a store, which I agree. I am an online shopper. I hate to leave my house, but when I do make it into town and I go to the different boutiques, I'm like, God damn it, why don't I do this more often? Like, and more often than not, they have more things than I imagined they would have. They usually, I'm like, oh, this is what I'm looking for. You carried this, who knew? Yeah. So shop local, friends, shop local.
Yes. And I think like, I always was like, oh, I will never do a storefront. That's too much. That's scary. Like, that's a lot of commitment. This has been like the most perfect situation because like I always wanted some sort of like coffee shop, and I'm like, well, then I'm going to be married to a coffee shop and have to sit there all day making coffee. And I like, how do I do that with my job? Right. So this is like the most perfect situation. And when I talk about Ranch and Root and I tell everybody about it all day long, because why would I not? And I'm like, no, like picture this. You walk in, you can grab a coffee or you can wait for your coffee and you can shop around a little. You can get your produce. You can get your meat. It's nuts. Like, and then people are like, that exists? And I'm like, yes, here's the address. So,
and it's come on in.
It's perfect for me too, because I've always envisioned a cute clothing boutique upstairs. But do I have time to develop a whole other brand and clothing line and buy all the inventory? Like, that's just, here I'm outsourcing.
Collaboration.
And we're collaborating together.
Yeah.
Right. Like, it's just another great example of how, like, collaboration over competition. You know what I mean? Like, it could have been so easy for Courtney to be like, I am going to start my own brand because all money should come to me and this is my business.
Right.
But instead, she realized, no, that's not going to work. I can't do it all. But I've got this friend over here that I could include, and now you guys are just going to be even more successful together.
Yeah. And I also think it's rare to find, like, between Courtney and Becca and Brittany, like, it's really rare to find, like, business owners, like a group of us that share the same idea, share the same, like, we just all want each other to do well. We're all constantly sharing each other's stuff. Like, I think it's honestly rare in this time where there's a lot of, like, me, money. Like, it's rare to find that and to find people who genuinely want you to succeed and will do anything to help you. And I think that is, like, I sit back and I think about that and I'm like, this is such a cool situation. Like, it's awesome.
I want us all to win.
Yeah.
And now we're all friends. So, like, I want that even more.
Yes.
Like, so,
Yes.
Hang out.
it's great.
Okay, I feel like we've talked a lot about the business, but we need to get to know you, Caitlin. So, like, take us back. How did you grow up? I imagine little Caitlin was like the girl with the lemonade stand. She's making bracelets. She's selling them. Like, I feel like you were an entrepreneur from the start. How did you grow up? Tell us about it.
Oh my gosh. My poor mother, Denise, she deserves an award because I don't know how she did it, to be honest with you. But when I was born, we were in this house, if anybody knows the Madison area, off of Highway 12, across from the Missouri Tavern. It was like my family, my grandparents' like original farmland that they had like kind of turned into some houses. And then we had our property backed up to cows. So I remember like going down to feed the cows all the time and checking on them. They weren't ours. They were just the neighbors. And then my great uncle had turned the family farm into a horse stable. So there were horses down there. My auntie, who was my mom's best friend, kept her horses down there. So I was able to like go down, see the horses, hang out, probably do more than I probably should have been doing at that age. But, you know, I just wasn't ever really one to be told no, which is like still a similar situation.
Wait a minute. Nobody's telling you no, or they're telling you no and you're just not listening?
Well, they're telling me no. It still happens. And it's like, that's not, you can't tell me no. You just have to phrase it differently. Like, well, maybe how about that? Like, it's just, it doesn't work. Like, it just doesn't work. I don't hear it. Or I like hear it and I'm like, I'll do it 10 times harder then. Like, it's a problem.
A lot of spite.
I'm fueled by spite. Yeah. So we lived there until I was probably 7. My parents got divorced and we moved into town a little bit further, but still out in the country. And then throughout my life, like the horses continued. Like my poor parents, I think they thought I'd grow out of it, but like just didn't. So my auntie had these 2 horses, so I'd go ride there all the time. And then when I was 8, I started going to a horse camp called Hoofbeat Ridge out in Mazomanie. They had resident camp, like you can go stay there. It's where I met one of my best friends. Started working there at 14, worked there until I was like 22, 23. So I had access to like 60 horses. We were able to go ride on the weekends for like off seasons and like just the dream, really. Working at horse camp as like that age was just so much fun. But I mean, I definitely remember having like little Kool-Aid stands, but like I don't remember other than that really. Okay, that's a lie. I did try and start a dog walking business when I was like 9 with my friend Carrie. Yeah. And like a dog sitting. We were like, we're going to buy these crates and we're going to dog sit. And like, we made flyers. You're right. I kind of forgot about that, actually.
So yeah, maybe it was always there.
Did either of you ever, with your group of friends, like try to start like a babysitters club situation? Because I remember doing that. I remember reading all the books, watching the movies, and I was like,
yes, absolutely.
Girls. Yes. I don't think we really succeeded, but god damn it if we didn't try.
I think I would have been too bossy for that, though. I'm like, no, you're going to sit there and you're going to like work on your letters. Like, you're going to, I'm like, I'm too much of a boss for that.
I think the kids would have loved you.
I think so.
For 4-H one year as a project, I made like these little babysitter kit bags. So like I decorated the bag and then I had like a first aid kit in there. I had different toys and like crafts and stuff I would bring to the house. And I thought that was so cool. And I was so professional.
Wait, that's actually genius. Like, that seems like a good idea now, honestly.
That's
like a
great.
to-go kit for a babysitter.
Yeah. And then like you're bringing like fun new stuff to the kids.
You guys had these great ideas growing up. And my idea of entrepreneurship when I was little was I like decorated magnets and I stood on the sidewalk like, do you want to buy my magnets?
And they're like, oh, there she is again selling her magnets.
I didn't sell a
Courtney,
single magnet.
Give yourself
guys.
more credit.
Oh, I would have bought your magnets. Did they have cows on them?
No,
Probably not
they
at the time.
were weird.
Were they as weird as your screen names?
Yeah, it said skin flute tuner.
Skin flute tuner.
She told me about those a couple weeks ago, and then I was dying, and then I listened to them on the podcast, and I died again. I texted her. I'm like, I'm glad these are finally coming out to public.
We really need to make some merch with that.
I can handle that. I got you.
Amazing.
I got you.
Yeah, we can collaborate on
Yeah,
that.
I'm gonna post them in the store. It'll be great. We'll paint them on the wall.
Yes.
Gosh, I love it. All right. So yeah, you were just a little horse gal, entrepreneur, doing the things. But
Mhm.
eventually, I mean, you decided to become an X-ray technician. So like you had this love for horses and agriculture, but what made you decide to go a different route for your career, essentially?
So I have always been in healthcare.
Hold on. Can we tell everybody what's happening right now? I'm going
I
to take a
can't
picture.
even see. You guys are frozen, so I have no idea what's going on over there.
There's a lot of snuggling happening,
My dog has completely like climbed into her lap.
but I love it. It's making me so happy. He's just like my Aussie like sidekick at home.
Like so awkward. It's such a problem. But anyways, I'm sorry. Continue.
Oh, we were talking about X-ray. Okay, so I went. What did I do? So I've always like played. Okay, I was always the weird horse girl. Let's be real. I got made fun of a lot for that in high school. Like, oh, there she goes with her dirty boots again. But also all my guy friends who like all played hockey. I was a hockey manager. They'd be like, okay, now teach me where to put my hands. And so I'd like get them like literally like riding position, and they like loved it. They like thought it was the funniest thing. But like my friend Joey, who was like 6'2", terrified of horses. He's like, I can't go near them. I'm like, well, you're making fun of me. Like, it just was so funny. Yeah. So anyway, I was always like into sports, but not like, I don't know. I was not good with team sports. I was not good with ball sports because no hand-eye coordination. It's not good. But I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go to Eau Claire for college, which I loved. I loved it there. And I'm going to do kinesiology. I'm going to do sports medicine. Like, I wanted to be the trainer when the high schoolers, like, I wanted to be on the sidelines being the trainer for the high school kids and whatever. Around that time, a lot of my friends were going to school for that. Like, so many people I knew were going to school for that, and they were having a really hard time finding jobs. So I was like, well, do I really want to graduate in this and have to work all these weekends and all these nights? Like, which joke's on me. But like, do I really want to do that and like have that be my schedule if I can even find a job doing that? Which it is more accessible now. Like, I know UW where I work, they hire athletic trainers like for their day-to-day stuff. It's all across the board. So I was like, this isn't quite exactly what I want to do. My cousin had worked as an X-ray tech, and I went and shadowed her and kind of talked to her about things. I was so good in high school with all the bones and like memorizing them. Like, I remember my AP like science class my senior year, and we learned every single bone, and I remembered them like no problem. Like, I just could tell you everything about all of them. And I was like, well, if that is easy for me, maybe I go into something with bones. So I shadowed her. I tried it out. And then I was like, you know what? Let's just give it a whirl. So I got on the wait list for Madison College for X-ray school. I moved back to Madison, and it was like a 3-year wait list. So I then was like, well, I need to do something in between. I was waitressing. It was fun. And, I loved that. But I was like, I need to do something else right now. So I went to school for medical assistant for a year, and then I got a full-time job working at one of the clinics in the area. And then through that, they paid for all my tuition for radiology because I was working while I was going to school. And then I was able to like work weird hours in the urgent care while I was still going to school. And I think like that's maybe where the comfort and the chaos came from, because I was literally like, get up, go to school. When I got into school, I would get up and go to school, and then I would literally go straight to the clinic and work in urgent care until like 9 p.m. And then I'd go home and study, and then wake up and do it again the next day. And then I'd like in between somehow ride my horse. So it was like every minute had a purpose, and I had to be really diligent about like how I planned my time. And then when X-ray school ended, I was like, what do I do? I have all this time. Like, what do I do? Like,
Yeah.
So it's almost like I was so used to it that it almost became uncomfortable when I had so much free time. And I was like, we got to do something about this.
I didn't realize you were a medical assistant.
Yeah.
First.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's a great way to go about it because you get so much patient care experience. And then a lot of these facilities will pay for your tuition. So like not having to have crazy loans and like money owed to anybody after school was amazing. Like I could just jump right out the gate and go.
I feel like you are like the definition of an okay farm girl. Like grit, hard work, like, you know what I mean? And like doing what makes you happy and realizing like, I don't have to stick to one thing. I can change with life. I can change with my preferences. And everything is a learning experience, right? Everything gets you exactly to where you are today.
Yeah.
But we are like running out of time, and we haven't even gotten to what the hell and what you ought to know and a farm girl confession, which I don't know if you've been warned, but that is your opportunity to share your poop story. So I don't know. What made you go, what the hell this week? Let's start there.
Well, my what the hell is more of a complaint because it happened yesterday. And as that was happening, I was literally in my head going, what in the hell? So I took my car in for an oil change, which I don't know why this is ever my job. Like I hate doing the car things. I hate taking the cars in. It's always a debacle every single time. So I take my car in for an oil change. I take it to a different place because the other place couldn't get me in and I was down on 3%. And oopsies. So I take it in and I had signed up for my oil change and it was $104 for an oil change and a tire rotation, which is absurd in itself, but fine, whatever. Got it done. And they hand me the paperwork, or she like goes to take it over to the cashier and I like go to look at it before she hands it to him. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, why is this $143 now? Like, can you imagine if at Ranch and Root I had something like tagged at $25 and you go down there and it's $65? Like, what do you mean?
This always happens.
Every time. And it's always at the car place.
Yes.
So I literally was holding on to the piece of paper and I was trying to read it. And as I'm holding on to it, the little cashier man takes it out of my hand and starts processing it. And I said, what are all these fees? He's like, oh, just taxes and fees. And I was like, but what taxes and fees? And I'm looking at like a $23, like some random charge. And I'm like, no, like this is not. And so I'm literally like, what the hell? Like, why would you do this to my husband? You wouldn't. You would not do this to my husband. Like, they know him there. They wouldn't do that to him.
So you think they just thought you were like young and dumb and they're like, we're going to get her.
Yes. And it's happened before. Like I've taken we had like a newer car that I took in for a tire rotation. And they charged me with oil change. It was like $175 or $180. I was like, what is this? And they're like, well, we had to put on new lug nuts because they were kind of rusted. I was like, the car's a 2023. What do you mean they were rusted? And I said, I will pay for these if you can go dig those out of the garbage and show me where you got them. Like, show me. And he's like, we'll just take that off. And I'm like, you're damn right you will.
Damn right.
You're kidding.
You're encouraging me to maybe I need to be a little more, what's the word?
Diligent.
You have
to pay attention. Because a lot of times I am just like, it is what it is. That's what they charge. Like, I'm not going to complain or put up a fuss or even read the receipt. Probably should.
I'm just going to make Aaron deal with this.
It's horrible.
I can't.
Yeah.
They wouldn't do it to Aaron.
No.
So I'll just send him.
God damn.
I made him call one time and he said that exact thing to them. He said, you wouldn't have done this to me, so why'd you do it to her? And they were like, you can have 3 free oil changes. And I was like, you're damn right.
Damn right.
Damn right.
God damn. All right. Well, what is something you want everyone to know?
Oh, I didn't prep you on this. I'm sorry. I forgot.
Well, I have told people in the past, like at your guys' event, you know, I got talking to a few people and they're like, I just would love to do X, Y, and Z, and I would love to do whatever. And my advice is just do it. Like, you're going to figure it out. things are going to be whatever. You're not going to know it all right away. Like, do you think I knew how to like source apparel and source the prints? And like, you're going to figure it out and you're going to find like a niche. And so like, I think a lot of people are afraid to do the things that they deep down want to do. But like, we only get one shot at this life. And I know that sounds corny, but like, do the things you want to do, because it's scary waking up at whatever age later on and being like, why didn't I do that when I had the time? Or why didn't I do that when I had the energy?
I was just going to say, it's also important for people to know, like, you don't have to do just one thing. You can do as many or as few things as you want. Like, there's no one way to do life. It's your life. Do it the way you want to do it.
I fully agree. And if it's not working, change it. If you're like just trying so hard and you're going against the grain and it's just not working, just pivot and try something else.
Amen.
Pivot. I feel like that's another shirt we need to make.
Yeah. Do one that says
pivot. Oh,
pivot.
Pivot. Oh, pivot. Maybe we'll put that on the wall.
We'll think on that.
Yeah, we'll work on it. I got a list.
Like we're on.
I got a list in my phone. I'll add it.
I just pivoted. It's so funny.
Now, last but not least, it is time for your Farm Girl confession, where you tell us a poop story. And god damn it, I really wish we had some theme music for this one. Like, da-da-da-da.
Okay, I told Courtney I have an even better story than a poop story, and it's a vomit story. It's even better.
We'll take
That'll
it.
do.
Let's hear it.
So picture this. You're at Country Fest, right? And you are, I think I was like 26 at the time, but my new friend that I had like met at work and become really good friends with was like 21, 22. So it's all these like very fresh, young 20-year-olds. So we go to Country Fest. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go to Country Fest. Like, you know, at the time it was just like me and my husband. We didn't have kids. So we're like, cool, we're going to go to Country Fest. So I go with her for the week. And I had been to Country Fest before. I love it, whatever. We get up there. Friday night is Kip Moore. And if you know anything about me, I am a diehard Kip Moore fan. Like, it's actually it's not even embarrassing. I'm not embarrassed about it. Love him. Anyway, so Friday night Kip plays. I get a migraine. And I'm like, we're going to roll through this. We're not going to stop. So I get back and I'm puking for sure. But I'm like, nothing a little Tylenol and a little sleep won't fix.
Hold on. Where are you puking right now?
Oh, next to the camper. Yeah. In between the campers.
Okay.
Like, this is because of your migraine?
This is because of my migraine.
They make me puke too.
Yeah. So it just, there's probably some dehydration. I really didn't have that much to drink. So then the next morning we wake up and we're all like sitting in lawn chairs out in probably the 90-degree heat in a field, because that's what Country Fest is, up in Cadott, up by you guys. Then are like, cool, we're going to hang out. I like have a couple drinks, but I'm still like feeling a little bit like off. So I'm like having an entire Gatorade and then maybe like a little something to drink. Like, I'm not putting the pedal to the metal like at all.
I mean, you've already been puking. Like, you got to take it easy.
Yeah, but I'm like, it's fine. Like, we're not going to we're in the moment. We're not going to waste this. So I'm fine. And I like probably puked a couple more times that day, but like, we're just going to keep rolling. The like start of the fest happens at like, I don't know, we probably go down around like 5 or 6. And I'm like, I've had Gatorade. I've really been hydrating. Things are going well. Like, they give you these big tumbler things to like fill up with drinks that it's like $20 and then you keep filling it up. So I filled that sucker with Gatorade and I like talked to the guy while he was letting me in the gates. We didn't know it was already full. So I was like, no, sir, it's just my Gatorade. Didn't even notice. Snuck her right in. And so I go into the gate. And my friend Aaliyah has like camper keys. And I'm like, immediately when we walk into the gate, everybody's coming in. They're getting let in. It's like, it's a concert. There's a million people coming in behind me. And immediately I'm like, ooh, something feels off after we start walking down there. So I'm like, Aaliyah, I'm going to need the camper key. Like, I don't think I can hang. And she's like, okay. So as she's like getting it out of her fanny pack, I am like, oh no, it's coming. Oh, and no. I turn and I like start running towards the fence. So like it's not in a group of people, right? Oh no,
maker
projectile in this massive group of people, everybody coming into coming into the festival, hundreds of people, just projectile, just everywhere. And I'm like,
and everyone probably is like, she is drunk.
Yeah.
Like, can't handle her liquor.
Yes.
How embarrassing.
How embarrassing. But I like had nothing to drink. And like, because I work in healthcare and I worked in urgent care for so long, I was like, I just need some Zofran. So I was like, I went to the medical tent and I'm like, here's the sitch. I just need some Zofran. And I don't even think I need anything else. And they're like, well, what's wrong? They're like, how much have you had to drink? And I was like, no, I think I just had like the heat stroke a little bit. So like,
Yeah. I need to go back to the vomit, please. There's details we need. Did the projectile vomit hit anyone, or did you just kind of black out and start running?
I was running while I was doing it. Like, it was like,
it's like an exorcism.
It was
like running into your puke.
Yeah, like I'm like, I don't want to inconvenience anybody, so I didn't want it on them. So I was running as fast as I could to like get towards the gate, like the fence, so like it wasn't around people. Because I'm like, the last thing I want to do is vomit on somebody. And my friends are just, you should have seen their faces. Their jaws are on the floor. And they're just like, Schwandt, are you serious? And I'm like, oh, yep, she done did
happening.
It's happening.
It happened. Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's a good embarrassing story.
Yeah, one of my best friends, Aaliyah, she loves to tell that story. She loves it. She's
you know what? It could have been worse.
It could have been worse.
It could have been diarrhea.
It could.
Exactly.
You're right. I will take the vomit over the diarrhea any day.
Projectile diarrhea would be a doozy.
Oh my! I can't even. Yikes!
Oh man,
yeah,
that's rough.
That's a bad day.
Yeah,
man. Well, I'm glad we ended on that note. You know, just really bring it down to ground level, make everyone feel better because
it's a nice breakfast conversation.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, thank
You're
you
welcome,
so much
everybody,
for being on Farm Girl Unfiltered.
I'm so thankful for you to have me.
Oh,
I was elated when you guys asked. I was like, me? Little old me?
Not little old you.
Oh.
You're a legend. You're an icon.
Oh.
Well, yeah, exactly. When we're thinking about broads in our circle that are like farm girls who are doing things and putting themselves out there, like you clearly came to mind. So I'm so glad you came on and chatted. You should quickly shout out like your Instagram handle, website, all the things.
Yeah, so our Instagram is at Wisco Cowgirl Co. And then also we have the men's line, which I market it as a men's line, but clearly I wear it almost every single day. And it's very universal, but my husband complained that he didn't have his own line. So I said, fine. And that's Rebel Ridge Midwestern Co. And then our website, you can find both of them on there, wiscocowgirlco.com. So a few places. And at Ranch and Root, like being able to come shop in person and find the things and touch them and feel them and take them home is just such a cool thing. So come visit us for sure.
Awesome.
Yay.
All right, everyone. Well, go have a day. God damn it. Bye.
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 Guys, thanks for hanging out with us today.
If you had as much fun as we did, would you do us a favor and share this episode with a friend?
Speaking of friends, can we all be friends over on the Instagram? You can find me at @modfarmchick.
And me at Mrs. Green Pastures Cattle.
See you next week, guys.